This is one of the most powerful social media hacks, guaranteed to get traffic on autopilot using a free WordPress plugin called Revive Old Posts. And if you want to see how my students are making millions of dollars with my traffic methods, then stay until the end or click the link in the description. Okay, so this free WordPress plugin works in two ways. So first of all, it will automatically share your latest content to Facebook and Twitter. Secondly, it will find your old content and then automatically share that too. So I'm going to show you how to use it, but a word of caution first, because if you use this in the wrong way, then it can create a major headache for you. So do follow this tutorial in its entirety so you don't miss out on any traffic. I will show you how to install this in a couple of clicks very shortly, but here are the big benefits. This helps bloggers and webmasters and marketers boost their website traffic, grow their social media followers, and keep their existing followers engaged. It's got 4 out of 5 stars. It's pretty good, but look at these 1-star reviews. Let's dive into that. This post says it's the worst plugin that they have ever had. It was posted 10 months ago, so it might not be relevant now. We have a response from the developer. What I'd like you to do is go through the positive reviews, go through the negative reviews, and make up your own mind. The developer is responsive to the community, he engages with them, and that is one of the reasons why I am recommending this. You know that I would never steer you in the wrong direction. So open up WordPress, go to your dashboard, go to the plugin section, then add new, and we're going to search for Revive Old Posts. It should be the first one on your list. So click install now and then activate. Inside the settings, you will be able to add your Facebook page and your Twitter account. Connect both of those, and then we can go to general settings, where things get very interesting, because this will create a cron job. This will automate the posting for you. Now, if the cron job does not work, you need to contact your web host and they will do it for you. So it will create intervals that you will set. So you will decide how many hours each interval will be. So you can schedule a new post to go live on social media every 10 hours. You can change this to whatever you're comfortable with. So the bigger your blog, the more frequent this can be. But let me give you a word of caution about cron jobs. These do create some minor strain on the server. So if you have a shared hosting plan, you do not want the interval to be very frequent. I would recommend no more than twice a day. Then decide your minimum post age. The default is 30. You can increase to whatever you like. But bear in mind, the longer this period, the more strain that cron job will cause on your server as it goes through your database. Again, this is going to really depend on how often you're publishing content. So if you're publishing once a week, then the cron job really only has 4 posts to choose from. So you can increase this to maybe 90, 120 days, 180 days, and also increase the minimum interval between shares. So the rule of thumb is the more content you have, the more frequently you can post. And that is because we don't want to overwhelm our social media audience. We don't want to post the same piece of content over and over and over again in a short period of time. The maximum post age, this is a good option if you want to do manual promotion for your most recent work. So for example, if you need to delay the automation aspect for a few days, you can set it there. If you don't want to delay it and you want full automation, set that to 0, and then decide the number of posts to share each time. I strongly encourage you to leave that as 1. You don't want to have 2 or more posts going out at the same time. That is just going to dilute your entire results, because we want the traffic to be focused on one specific post at a time. Another important aspect, taxonomies. Now, this is how you can include or exclude certain types of posts. So for example, we can include a category. So if we only want to share content about affiliate marketing or website traffic or funnels, we can choose that. Additionally, we can also choose by tag. So if we only want to share content with a tag of copywriting, we'll be able to do that. Or if we want to include everything but copywriting, we can click to exclude that type of content. Next, enable Google Analytics tracking. Leave that as default, yes, you need that. Enable instant sharing. Leave that as default, yes, if you want your content to be shared immediately. So the very second you hit publish, it will spread across social media. And if you want to avoid that process going through the cron job, then check use true instant share. So that will send it directly. And then we can enable instant sharing by default. I'll show you what that means right now, because if we go to a WordPress article, so here's an article on one of my websites. If we go down to the panel on the right hand side, we have revive old posts, and we have this option to share immediately. Now what happens if we go back to the revive old posts dashboard and we turn on enable instant sharing by default? If we click that, then refresh the content, now the revive old posts panel has that checked by default, so it will immediately share to Facebook and to Twitter. We can of course uncheck either one of these. Then we can move on to post format. Now for the most part I would leave this as default. However, down here, additional text, what I want you to do here, especially on the Facebook tab, I want you to give a call to action. So this gives people a reason to click on the link, or you can divert them elsewhere. So for example, you could say, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, or get this free gift when you go here, or maybe you're running a special offer, some kind of sale. You might want to highlight that, and then you can choose where to display that additional text. So it could be at the beginning of the caption or at the end. Then make sure that include link is checked. That's essential. Otherwise people won't be able to visit your website. Then include custom field, fetch URL from custom field. Leave that unchecked. And then use URL shortener. Now I know why you might be tempted to add that, but leave that unchecked because you want the link to be naked so people can see what they're clicking through to. Unfortunately, due to the high level of abuse, shorteners like Bitly and such, they might not get the same click-through rate as a naked URL, and that is because of trust. So we want to use a naked URL, so do not check use URL shortener. And of course that reduces the amount of characters. That's okay because your click-through rate should be a little bit higher as a result. Now, hashtags. This is very interesting. You have to pay close attention to this because without hashtags, you will not experience the reach that you deserve. So we have some options. Do not add hashtags. Avoid that. Get rid of that. And you want to choose one of the other options. So we have common hashtags for all shares. So if you have recurring hashtags that are working particularly well for you, you might want to include them there. Now, unless you're blogging about the same thing over and over and over again, where the hashtags are going to be identical every time, I'd avoid that option. Instead, maybe go to create hashtags from categories. However, maybe the most powerful way to use the hashtag strategy is to go with create hashtags from tags. Tags and hashtags work in a very similar way. So it makes sense to pull hashtags from the existing tags. And when you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. Like Matt, he's making millions of dollars online thanks to my training. And if you want to know the secret and you are serious about making money on the internet, then you are going to need more web traffic. So I will give you the secret traffic methods that I never share anywhere else for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic traffic, and I'll put a link to that in the description. Okay, so if you found today's tutorial useful, then give it a thumbs up below. Subscribe to the channel to hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me, and I will hopefully see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.